That makes a lot of sense. I've got to ask you, who was the first HR professional? How did this industry start? When did it begin? And when did businesses realize that they need this kind of support?
Yeah, I don't know who the first person was. I will say HR is an evolution. And gosh, back when I first started, I'm going to be dating myself a little bit here. It was just making the change from like personnel management, so it was a very administrative function. As far as like HR, was they're paperwork pushers basically, right? The administration aspect of HR. Um, you know, over the last 10 years or so, 15 years, it was right when I was entering the field, it started making this transition into HR being more of the strategic partner. And You started seeing degrees and training like industrial organizational psychology or human resources development starting to kind of pop up, and you started seeing this evolution of HR can do more, right? And it's now, and I mean, now they're talking about like HR is like, I think, I can't keep track of some of it, but it's like people operations now, right? As opposed to even being HR, right? And so it's been this evolution from like this very administrative, procedural, tactical to evolving into, there's still pieces of that, right, that we do, but into this more strategic workforce planning, having a seat at the table. Now you've got CHROs in a lot of companies that have a seat, are part of the leadership team, and are focusing on helping with some of these higher level engagement, retention, um, types of, cradle to grave employee relations pieces.
That makes sense. So it basically started as kind of an administrative, file your paperwork, on board, off board, but there was less of the soft skills. And now
Yeah.
it's become this combination of the administrative side, but
Yep.
also helping employees and helping employers and conflict resolution, all the above.
Yep. And a lot of businesses we see today still have a little bit of that, right? Especially the small businesses. We'll see a lot of where we pick up a lot of businesses are, a small business has had maybe someone that was in an admin assistant position or an office manager that they have turned into an HR person. Doing some of those administrative functions. And again, because there are those components that are administrative. Obviously, they're not trained HR professionals, right? It is a skill set that and training and knowledge and expertise on how to navigate and deal with some of these things. And it's also part of why we've structured our team the way we have, where we have for our businesses that are getting to the point where they need more regular HR support, we usually have a consultant and a coordinator. So the coordinator, still a trained HR professional, right? They know what needs to be done and filled out on that I-9 form, for example, or how to review a W-4 form and make sure that that gets put into payroll correctly. Handling the onboarding, right, of an employee. So handling those administrative components, partnered with a senior consultant that can help on more of those strategic aspects. But I will say where we see a lot is where somebody's had an office manager kind of turned into and filling that seat as an HR professional, and they've done an amazing job, right? I don't want to discredit what they've done by any means. They just haven't had the training to what they really need to do, and they've kind of piecemealed and gotten by. And then a lot of times there's some pretty big gaps, unfortunately, though, that we kind of come in and help clean up.